Hi guys, headed to Medellin, Colombia. You've come to the right channel for important news and updates to make your trip both enjoyable and safe.
Brigadier General Oscar Lamprea states that there are 65 foreigners that have passed in Colombia this year. Hang on a second, because you need to recognize that pretty much half of them are Venezuelan. Let's jump into the story right away. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. I'm DC Rob. Again, the Brigadier General Oscar Lamprea wants to state to you, because he has spoken, pretty much what's in this story is coming from his press conference. But what I've done is taken AI again, and this is why I love it. I can take him speaking in Spanish and have him speak to you directly in English, because you need to hear pretty much what he's saying. There's one word or two that I need to beep out that I would have had to beep out anyway. But I want you to hear from him, and then I want to jump into a short story after that. Let's hear what he has to say right here.
65 deaths of foreigners, right? It's 65 deaths of foreigners that we have recorded. I'm talking about the metropolitan area, right? In the metropolitan area, in the Carrillo of this year. I will be breaking them down, but if you have this data, you can see the context there. It says that 25 foreigners out of these 65 deaths are of nationalities such as American, German, Peruvian, Dutch, Canadian, Chilean, Irish, Swiss, among other nationalities. Of these 25 cases, 17 of which were due to health problems in total. I am talking about the 25. Of the 25, 17 are due to health problems, according to what has already been evidenced. 5 due to intoxication, 1 due to overdose, 1 accidental death by fall, and another death that is still to be determined in relation to this case. Of those same 65, we have 7 that are of foreigners, 5 by jumping from a height, 2 by ingesting toxic substances, and to complement, let's say, and to match the figure, 30, let's say 33, that are violent deaths or homicides. Of those 65, of those 33, 30 are of Venezuelan nationality, 3 are foreigners of other nationalities, which are American, Mexican, and Salvadoran, who have died. Let's say they were homicides. That is, let's say, the context of the homicides of foreigners in the metropolitan areas, 2000.
Okay, so there you go. So the one thing I want to recognize that he uses the word intoxication. And I think the number was 5. And by intoxication, you know what that means. To me, it means scopolamine. And is that not a homicide? Again, I beg to differ, since they don't include that in the number of homicides. He tries to say 2 or 3. 3 now are actually due to homicides. But if someone is given a poison and they pass, what is that? Is it me? I'm trying to figure this one out. I don't know why they don't want to add that into the total and make it, even if it's only the 5. Because if you take that 5 with the 3, then you have 8. So, but again, I want to back up and say, remember that there are way more people coming to the country than there were even a year ago. So you have to factor this in. And then some people are just health related. Some people are doing this on their own, or it's self-inflicted, or they're going down for the wrong reasons and getting caught up in a substance abuse. So, but I did find another story that I wanted to run to you. This is pretty short. This may take a minute and a half to get through. This has to do with the overload of forensic medicine due to the loss of foreigners this year in Medellin. So let's jump into it. A 23% increase in tourist arrivals this year complicates investigations. The Medellin's Ombudsman's Office has issued an urgent warning in response to the significant increase in the number of tourists who have passed in the city, which is causing an overload in the forensic medicine department. According to the authorities, 65 passings of foreigners have been recorded in the metropolitan area, with only 2 of these cases confirmed as homicides. The rise in tourist deaths, mostly attributed to health problems and other incidents such as poisoning and accidents, has raised concerns among local authorities. However, the additional burden on forensic services, exacerbated by a 23% increase in tourist arrivals this year, is making investigations into the exact causes of these passings difficult. With the arrival of the flower fair, a further increase in the influx of tourists is expected, which could further intensify the pressure on the city's forensic services. The Medellin Ombudsman's Office urges authorities to expedite procedures to ensure an efficient response to these tragedies that affect both citizens and foreigners. So again, 23% increase in tourists is a lot. That's a lot when you have over 1 million coming already. So that's 200, 300,000 more people. Again, fish in a barrel. You put more fish in a barrel, it's easy for them to get hemmed up. And then there's a lot of people go down that just aren't prepared. But for the most part, I mean, stuff happens wherever you go. And I want to put this out there that there's crime everywhere. I try to mix up this news. If someone passes that's a foreigner in Medellin, and I put it out because that's what I blog on. I really don't focus on that anywhere else. So when somebody says, hey, it happens in New York, why don't you do New York? Because I don't blog on New York. Why don't I blog on ice cream? Because I don't do that. That's not what I do. This is the news for Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole, trying to keep you guys up to date on what's going before you go down. Maybe it'll help you decide whether or not you do want to go or not. Like I said, I'm going to go, but it's up to you and what reasons you're going for. So anyway, I just wanted to put this short video out so that you can hear from the general himself what he's saying, and it's kind of eerie to hear him say it in English, but I think this is something worth paying for so that you can hear what he has to say from his words and not interpret it in the story, because these stories, as you see, the guy yesterday was Irish, then he was Indian, then he was British. I mean, there can be confusion, especially when the story comes out right away. Oh, and I did want to say this one thing. This was a comment to my commentary yesterday that if you are in need of help, reach out and ask someone. But he had a good comment that I told him I'm going to reuse it, and I'm paraphrasing, but I believe it said, hard times make men. Good times make memories. Loved it. Had to share. Hang on. Make sure you get your traveler's insurance. Get your traveler's insurance. You heard me speak with Christopher, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And if you didn't go back and check that in, just type in DC Born Rob and whatever subject you want to find for DC Born Rob Travelers Insurance. And you'll see him and get to learn a little bit more about it, because I didn't get it at first. I get it a lot more now. Do I understand it fully? No, but that's why he is there. And he is there. He is in Medellin. So this is someone that you can consult with, get information so that if something does happen, your family is not hurt on top of yourself being hurt, and you're not wiped out, and you can seek medical care without having to worry. I mean, insurance does serve a purpose to a key. Just make sure it is filled out correctly, is what I'm told. Anyway, his information, just like my dentist and tour guide, Andres, all their information is in all the description of all my videos. Again, now you're up to date with the latest out of Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
In Medellin, feeling mean, sipping cafecito, parquet hair scene, hottest vibe incognito, Comuna 13, colors bright, mural symphony, graffiti on city walls, culture rich as history. Watch DC Rob, stay wise, streetwise TV, keeping tabs on where to roll, news on lock, believe me. Travel but travel safe, life don't hit replay, street savvy like a king, no risk we convey. Medellin nights, under city lights, roll with DC Rob, he got the sights, cultures blend. Party never ends. Stay sharp, stay true, we got no pretend. Hustle like New York Marine, never get caught slipping. DC born street smart, worldwide tripping. Latin beats, salsa streets, rhythm always bumping. Parquet airs, hang tight, massive crowd thumping. Travel like a Marine, ain't no fear. Mad respect for local vibes we revere. Colors bold, stories told, art pure magic. Medellin spirit so infectious, never tragic. Medellin nights on the city